and welcome to this lesson for Design and Technology for Grade 9. In the last lesson, we had introduced isometric circles, and in this lesson, we are going to look at an isometric block with a vertical cylinder and a shaped block with a circular hole. In this lesson, we will be able to draw a shaped block with a vertical cylinder and a shaped block with a circular hole. Given an object that has a vertical cylindrical part, a crate has been drawn up. The centers have to be located, so we draw a diagonal through the acute angles of the top and cross it over with two lines from the midpoints of the sides to the corners. We get two centers on the intersections with the diagonal and two more centers on the corners of the crate like this. Once the centers have been located, we locate the radii needed for the first arc, taking from the center located. The radius goes to the midpoint of the side of the top. Our compasses are set to the required radius and we obtain our first quarter circle. We then move to the opposite center and draw our next quarter circle. The next center will be this one and the radius will be this. Correspondingly, our next quarter circle will be drawn like this. Our last center is this one, and you see the corresponding radius to which we draw the last part of the circle there. Here you see our isometric circle completed. We need to draw the lower part of the cylinder as indicated. For this, we are going to use the height of the cylindrical part. We transpose this height from the top. The centers and radii of the relevant parts of the circle are offset through the required height to the lower part of the cylinder. The contact points of the circle and midpoints are offset too. And the circle is drawn in with compasses. The same is carried out for the next part circle and the last part as such. Once the top of the circle and the lower part of the circle have been constructed, vertical tangents are added to the sides to complete the shape. The outline is completed like this. Now we are going to draw a shaped block with a circular hole. The crate has already been drawn, and we are going to draw an additional isometric square crate for the isometric circle. Once the centers have been located, we locate the radii needed for the first arc. Taking from the center located, the radius goes to the midpoint of the side of the isometric square. We draw in our arc, next center and radius for the next arc. The same process is carried out, and so on. The outline of our isometric circle is completed. We are now going to draw in the outline. The depth of the block is 20 millimeters. So we offset the circle to the back through 20 millimeters. The depth is indicated by the green arrow. For this part of the circle, the center and radius is sent backwards, as well as the point of contact with the side of the crate, and the back arc is drawn in. For the next part, we mark the offset distance, as well as the contact point on the vertical side of the crate, and draw in the back arc. The last part is offset, and drawn in. The outline is added. This is our completed block, which we can render to give this. We are now going to attempt to draw a shaped block with a circular hole inside. This is the required crate. We place the center lines of the isometric circle and construct the isometric square. We place the center lines of the isometric circle and construct the isometric square crate of the circle. We then draw in our isometric circle following the same steps that we had seen previously. We draw in the outline of our shape and then add the construction of our isometric circle in the first ways. We then complete our isometric circle following the same steps that we have seen previously. We will then add the depth of our block, followed by the back edges of our shaped block. We then outline in the outer visible edges in thick lines. This is what you can see with rendering. As you see, rendering the block will greatly enhance its appearance. In this lesson, we have been able to draw a shaped block with a vertical cylinder and shaped blocks with a circular hole. These are the references for images used. This brings us to the end of our lesson for today. Next lesson, we are going to continue on the topic of isometric circles in pictorial projection. Do remember that you can watch all of our videos on the website of the Ministry of Education under the Student Support Program on the link that you have been given. So catch us for the next lesson. Until then, goodbye.